Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Nick Maillet, and this is the Weekly Fix, the show where we round up all the gaming and entertainment headlines you may have missed this week. 2024 is here, and let me tell you, it's been a busy week for news. We're covering everything from some pretty believable Switch 2 predictions, Star Citizen continuing its tradition of offering affordable digital ships, the next Star Wars movies and TV shows, and a whole lot more. Seriously, 2024 is shaping up to be a busy year. Anyways, I've talked enough. It's news and time.
Analysts recently predicted that Nintendo will release its successor to the Switch later this year. And according to AI Shark, formerly known as Game Shark, later this year means September. Announced in a press release and first spotted by Digital Trends, AI Shark revealed that it was reviving the Game Shark brand and that it will relaunch in September 2024. The release window, according to the company, is planned to coincide with the Nintendo Switch 2. If you don't remember what Game Shark is, it was a brand known for making various cheat code devices. Under this rebranding, however, AI Shark is supposed to be AI-enhanced software that is designed to aid individuals in improving their gameplay over time. And its target audience is casual gamers, according to the press release. Founder Todd Hayes wrote, "Harnessing the power of AI, supercomputers, and our exceptional code writing team, we are aiming to eclipse the original Game Shark's triumphs tenfold and redefine the gaming landscape on a global scale." As for the Nintendo Switch 2, this is technically the first whiff of a release window we've had that's anywhere close to almost not really official. Nintendo hasn't even revealed the Switch's successor yet at all. There were rumors that Nintendo was demoing the console to partners behind closed doors at last year's Gamescom. We also know that Nintendo briefed Activision on a Switch successor in late 2022. Now, since that press release was sent out, both Digital Trends and Bloomberg's Jason Schreier have reported receiving statements from Alltech Lansing, a peripheral licensing partner of Shark AI, that seem conflictingly to double down on the fall 2024 window and also claim the window is guesswork. What's likely happening here is that Alltech Lansing was making an educated guess on the Switch 2's release based on internal industry conversations as well as analyst models. Whatever the case, we'll have to wait for Nintendo's official word to find out the real date. The Nintendo Switch 2 seems likely to be released this year, but when and how much will it cost us? These are the questions on the minds of Nintendo fans as 2024 gets underway. If industry analysts are to be believed, the Switch successor should be out later this year with a price point of $400. Offering his 2024 predictions to GamesIndustry.biz, Dr. Serkan Toto, a Kantan Games analyst noted for being a Nintendo expert, said he believes that the Switch 2 will be out this year. Toto wrote, "The time is finally here for a Switch successor. I believe the next hardware will drop in 2024 for $400. There's a high chance that games will cost more too. $70. The next system is also likely to be an iteration rather than a revolution. Nintendo might add some bells and whistles to the device, but it will be similar to the current Switch. And because there is Pokemon, and Pokemon is associated with handheld gaming, there is no way on earth Nintendo will drop the portability feature for their next big thing." And peer analysis analyst Piers Harding-Rolls also weighed in with his own predictions, saying that he expects the console market to be up marginally, aided by, quote, "the launch of a next-gen Nintendo console, more than likely a Switch 2, towards the end of the year." Toto and Harding-Rolls' predictions lend further weight to the persistent belief that the follow-up to the 7-year-old Nintendo Switch is near. The Switch 2 has been heavily rumored since last year, when a demo meant to reflect the platform's expected hardware capabilities was reportedly shown to developers at Gamescom in August. If the Switch 2 is indeed an iteration rather than a revolution, it will seemingly be closer to the Nintendo 3DS, which built on the success of the DS with improved hardware and a 3D screen, among other additions, although I wouldn't expect Switch 2 to have 3D capabilities. The main question is whether or not it will be backwards compatible, which is one of the major requests from Nintendo fans. In the meantime, the Switch continues to chug along with a Paper Mario Thousand Year Door HD remaster, a remake of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and a new Princess Peach game among the releases on the docket.
You all know that one space simulator that's never actually releasing and is constantly stuck in alpha that everyone loves to talk about? Yeah, I'm talking about Star Citizen. Well, the developer Cloud Imperium Games just announced another highly overpriced ship bundle for $48,000 that you can only buy if you've already spent a certain amount of money in the game. The bundle is called the Legatus 2953, I don't know if I'm saying that right, pack, and the item page reads, "Ahead of all others, this definitive armada is an equal match to the noble title of Legatus Navium." Comprised of over 175 vessels from every manufacturer of note, this perfect collection, including all ships released and concepted through 2953, empowers every fleet commander to forge a lasting legacy leading humanity towards a brighter future. So, in order to purchase this extremely overpriced bundle, you have to be a part of the Star Citizen's Chairman's Club, which you can only become a part of after spending money on other items in the game. Players are currently reporting being able to see and purchase the new Legatus bundle if they're already in the tier achieved by spending $10,000. So it's only an exclusive club if you're not willing to shell out money for a game still in alpha after 12 years. Yeah, you heard me right, 12 years. Just in case you're not familiar with Star Citizen's background, the game was announced at GDC October 2012. Star Citizen was always a crowdfunded project, and it started with a Kickstarter campaign at their announcement. Star Citizen was supposed to have a single-player campaign mode called Squadron 42 that was set to release around November 2014 and included the promise of VR and flight stick support. Well, Squadron 42 was delayed multiple times, and in December 2020, it was announced that no official release date or gameplay footage would be shown until they're closer to home stretch. 11 years later, Cloud Imperium Games announced last year in October that Squadron 42 is feature complete and released a new trailer, but there's still no release window or even a release date. That's just the single player mode. The mode Arena Commander Flight Combat Sim, where players could test ship combat and racing, had opened for full access to all players in August 2014. Then Star Marine, the FPS mode, was announced at PAX Australia in 2014 and was being contracted out for development by a third-party studio, IllFonic. There were some issues with the assets that Cloud Imperium Games saw, and that contract with IllFonic was cancelled, and this led to a delay with Star Marine since development came back in-house. The original release date for Star Marine was sometime in 2015, but it finally launched in patch 2.6 in December 2016, a year later. The actual space combat and trading persistent universe mode, probably the most main mode for Star Citizen, released in December 2015. The next big step for Universe was Alpha 3.0 that had a lot of problems during its gradual rollout in 2017. Of course, after this update, there's still no word on when Star Citizen will actually release, since through those 12 years, the game is still in alpha. If you go to the Star Citizen website, you can see how much money they've made through crowdfunding, and currently, at the time of this recording, they've raised $658,216,322. I totally understand the crowdfunding aspect of independent games, but this one has gone on for way too long. Star Citizen does make a lot of money, and people do buy these outrageously priced bundles. So when are we gonna see it actually release? Personally, I don't think we'll see it in my lifetime. Okay, enough about these new games. Let's rewind the clock a few decades and talk about Tetris. The NES version of the game has apparently been beaten. Yes, you can actually beat Tetris. Today I learned. 13-year-old Tetris phenom Willis Blue Scuddy Gibson pulled off this near impossible task, which was documented in an in-depth video tracking the Tetris community's attempts to reach this elusive final kill screen. Up until recently, the game became incredibly difficult around level 38, but a new technique called rolling revolutionized the community, allowing for new records to be made. In December 2023, Gibson and current classic Tetris world champ Justin Fractal U raced each other to see who would be the first to reach the kill screen and beat Tetris. Gibson hit level 157 when the game finally crashed. But it's not over for the Tetris community. Theoretically, one could get to level 255, and if you were able to beat that, the game would reset all the way back to level 0.
Moving on, two highly anticipated Konami remakes may have just received a release window. PlayStation listed them both on its website as 2024 games. Both Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta and the Silent Hill 2 remake are among a slate of big 2024 games coming to PS5 that Sony has highlighted today. Other games included are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, and more. Silent Hill 2 Remake is said to be a full recreation of the survival horror classic. Developer Bloober Team's chief marketing officer said early last year, "We are focusing on bringing the distinct, visceral atmosphere back in the modernized Silent Hill 2. Longtime fans shouldn't worry about us missing the point while we're livening up the title. We faithfully stick to the traditional story canon while remaking the gameplay and updating the graphics from the ground up. These are the reasons why Konami entrusted us with the remake in the first place." IGN has reached out to both Bloober Team and Konami for confirmation that we can indeed look forward to playing both of these remakes this year. And finally today, first we had the Xbox Series X mini fridge, and now we're veering into other kitchen appliances. The Xbox Series S toaster is real, it costs $40 and is currently available to buy directly from Walmart. The new 2-slice toaster also features a bagel function, digital countdown timer, and 6 different shade settings. But most importantly, it will expertly toast the Xbox logo onto your toast. Some of the official copy for the appliance reads, "Achievement unlocked, optimal carb experience. This appliance will take your kitchen countertop to the next level. The countdown timer lets you know how much longer until your toast pops up. No more breakfast-induced jump scares or trying to spread butter on bread that's already gone cold because you were trying to find a good save point. So there you go, Xbox fans. That is one toasty exclusive. And before you say it, yes, it is a slow news day. Those happen sometimes, and then we end up talking about toast. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow, you can have an Xbox Series S toaster to go along with that Xbox Series X fridge. What a time to be alive. Anyways, we need to take a quick break, but don't go away because when we come back, we're looking at what's headed to PlayStation Plus, everybody cast in The Last of Us Season 2, and a whole lot more. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're about to get into everything we know so far about the next season of HBO's The Last of Us. A surprise, but maybe not totally shocking Star Wars announcement, and what we took away from the Arcane Season 2 teaser. But before we dive into the world of entertainment, let's see what PlayStation is bringing to Plus this month. Take it away.
PlayStation announced their January games for their subscription service, and there are some pretty fun games on the list. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands The Next Level Edition is available for PS4 and PS5. I really enjoyed this game. I mean, I'm a D&D player, and having a video game version of the tabletop being led by the game master Tiny Tina was super fun. You can make your own class to best support your co-op team if you're playing with friends, and it's just super colorful and action-packed. Resident Evil 2 is available for PS4 and PS5, and ironically, it's also one of the games available for Xbox Game Pass this month too. This is the remake, and the story follows Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield in separate storylines starting out. Hard Space Shipbreaker is also available on PlayStation Plus on PS5, which is a sci-fi space physics simulator. You can salvage spaceships for parts and materials and upgrade your tools and gear. You can take on contracts to salvage even bigger targets, and you can enjoy the campaign, free play, or timed challenges if you want something to test your skills. LEGO City Undercover is available on PS4 and is a great two-player co-op game where you and a friend can explore LEGO City to investigate a recent crime wave. Just Cause 3 is also out for PS4 players if you want a chaotic open-world campaign to play through. Session Skate Sim is out for PS4 and PS5 users and is a realistic skating simulator that was actually made by skateboarders. Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, and Surviving the Aftermath is available for PS4 players, and Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song can be played by PS4 and PS5 players. For PlayStation Premium users, you get access to Rallycross, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, the game, not the movie, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition, Legend of Mana, and Secret of Mana. On top of all of these games, PlayStation Plus Premium and Deluxe members will get select Crunchyroll anime series access and a collection of 100 movies on demand from Sony Pictures Core. So, hopefully you're on the subscription plan if you're a big Sony fan. This is a pretty great deal of games and content this month. It's like Marvel Snap is secure after its developer Second Dinner secured a $100 million investment. In November, Second Dinner was forced to reassure concerned players of the popular online card game after its publisher ran into some trouble. Marvel Snap is published by Newverse, which is owned by ByteDance, and reports indicated ByteDance planned to wind down its Newverse gaming brand and retreat from mainstream video games, and was looking for ways to sell off games. Now, Second Dinner has secured $100 million in a Series B funding round, which means the developer will continue to operate independently and use the cash to develop new games. According to GI.biz, Marvel Snap has seen $50 million in player spending since it launched in October 2022, with 18 million player downloads. Publisher Newverse was only set up in 2019 and was seen as part of ByteDance's big budget bid to get in on the video game market. Last year, Reuters reported Newverse hadn't performed well enough, and that Marvel Snap had, quote, amassed a cult following but was not a commercial hit. Second Dinner was co-founded by former Hearthstone director Ben Brody and fellow Blizzard veteran Hamilton Chu back in 2019.
Microsoft has announced a new Xbox Developer Direct Showcase set for Thursday, January 18th at 12 p.m. Pacific. Microsoft fans will get, quote, an inside look at a selection of highly anticipated games coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Game Pass. Those anticipated games will include Indiana Jones, announced with a short reveal trailer back in 2021. It's being built by Machine Games, developers of the recent Wolfenstein and Quake games. The Developer Direct will showcase more than 10 minutes of game and developer insights, including details about the setting and story, how fans will actually play as Indy, and the premiere of the first gameplay trailer. trailer, so it's going to be a pretty meaty look at Indiana Jones. We'll also get to see more of Avowed, as well as Ara, History Untold from Oxide Games, and Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Microsoft made a point of saying the Direct will not have updates on games from the recently acquired Activision Blizzard. More on those later this year. Obsidian will give us the first deep dive into Avowed gameplay. The dev says players will have agency to make choices to shape every step of their adventure. Oxide Games will unveil exclusive new gameplay and share more details about the inspiration, key features, and road ahead for its upcoming historical grand strategy game, Ara, History Untold. And finally, Ninja Theory will take us behind the scenes at its studio in Cambridge to give us some insight on how it's crafting Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. A game we've seen many times since its reveal back in 2019, and we're still waiting on that release date. You'll be able to watch the whole show here at IGN, and stay tuned afterwards for a special edition of our Xbox show, Podcast Unlocked, where we'll break down and react to all the big reveals.
The Xbox exclusive rhythm action game Hi-Fi Rush is rumored to be releasing on the Nintendo Switch this year, which has fans discussing Microsoft's stance around the exclusivity of its first-party games. Insider Nate the Hate teased on YouTube that Hi-Fi Rush would appear on the Switch, and Reset Era Lilo confirmed this tease as well. Both these users have pretty good track records for video game announcements, and to back them up, Windows Central reported that Microsoft has been looking at ways to bring its back catalog to other platforms. They did also state, however, that some of the details remain vague and unconfirmed. These rumors have definitely made fans talk about Xbox exclusives releasing on rival platforms in positive and also negative ways. Some fans are really excited that games like Hi-Fi Rush are reaching more players and could potentially encourage the development of sequels, but others aren't exactly the happiest campers, thinking about an exclusive not being so exclusive. To be fair, these rumors come just 2 months after Xbox CFO Tim Stewart said that Microsoft wants to bring first-party games to, quote, every screen that can play games, which includes rival consoles. At the Wells Fargo TMT Summit in November last year, Stewart said, "It's a bit of a change of strategy. Not announcing anything broadly here, but our mission is to bring our first-party experiences and our subscription services to every screen that can play games. That means smart TVs, that means mobile devices, that means what we would have thought of as competitors in the past like PlayStation and Nintendo." Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer did deny that they wanted to bring Game Pass to rival consoles though. But Hi-Fi Rush wouldn't be the first exclusive to publish on other platforms from Xbox. Minecraft is on every platform. The Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 are both on PlayStation, and Psychonauts 2 came out on August 2021 for PlayStation 4 and PC the same day it hit Xbox. It'll be cool to get an official announcement from Xbox on Hi-Fi Rush's rumors, but we'll just have to wait and see for now.
CD Projekt has deemed Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty a commercial success after revealing it hit similar numbers to the Witcher 3 Wild Hunts expansions. Speaking to IGN, CD Projekt confirmed Phantom Liberty has an attach rate of approximately 23%, meaning 23% of players who bought the base game also bought the expansion. As revealed by co-CEO Michael Nowakowski on Twitter, The Witcher 3's Hearts of Stone expansion had a 22% attach rate, and Blood and Wine had a 24% attach rate within 3 months of launch. What's even better news for Phantom Liberty, however, is its release around 2 years and 9 months after the base game launched. Hearts of Stone arrived about 5 months after Witcher 3, and Blood and Wine around 1 year after, when downloadable content is traditionally released and general engagement is typically higher. Nowakowski added, "To be honest, the decision to go through with the expansion so long after launch of the single-player game was a bit counterintuitive, but what happened is proof to us that solid content that people are happy with is the way to go." Phantom Liberty was received very well by critics, with IGN giving it a 9 out of 10 in our review. The developer released the final major update for Cyberpunk in December, essentially ending the game's 3-year journey of active post-launch development. Attention at CD Projekt Red has now switched to its next projects, which include Cyberpunk's sequel and the next mainline Witcher game.
And we finally know who's been cast as Abby in HBO's The Last of Us Season 2. Now that role goes to actor Caitlin Dever, who you might have seen in 2023 sci-fi horror film No One Will Save You. Now for the uninitiated, HBO describes the character of Abby as, quote, a skilled soldier whose black and white view of the world is challenged as she seeks vengeance for those she loved. Now Abby's the main antagonist in The Last of Us Part 2, whose motives for revenge might be justified in some folks' eyes, given the events that occurred towards the end of season 1 of the live action series and the final scenes of the first video game. Now, I obviously won't spoil what Abby has done in the video game to a certain character or reveal her connections to the previous season or video game for those who would rather just wait and see for themselves. But let me tell you this, you might come out of this really just hating that character, as some did when The Last of Us Part 2 was first released. Now, while Caitlin Dever begins bulking up, hitting the gym real hard for the role of Abby, we also have another casting announcement in Jesse. Now, actor Young Mazzino will be stepping into the role of the character. Now, in the video game, Jesse was once friends with Ellie until she scooped in and stole his girlfriend Dina away from him. Yeah, now they're all still cool though, but I'd like to think, a person would feel a certain way seeing their ex-partner with someone you might consider a friend. Who knows? I know, it's happened to me. Anyways, Young will be playing Jesse, and you might remember seeing him in Netflix's award-winning series Beef as the lazy younger brother to Steven Yeun's character. Now that we have our Abby, when can we expect season 2 to drop or possibly start filming? Now, we already know Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann are hard at work currently adapting season 2 and have already confirmed that it'll likely take multiple seasons to adapt part 2 of the video game. But as far as filming is concerned, we might have actually been given a clue from one of the actors of the series, Bella Ramsey. Now, she mentioned on the Jonathan Ross show, quote, "It will be a while. I think we'll probably shoot at the end of this year, beginning of next. So it'll probably be at the end of 2024, early 2025. Now, that quote is actually from 2023. Now, season 1 was filmed in Canada, July 2021 to June 2022, a whole ass year of production so that the series could benefit from the seasonal changes in weather. So if we're looking at a similar timeline as the previous season with Mazin and Druckmann still scripting, it's likely we won't see things go into production until later this year, mid-2024. So a 2025 release date for season 2 is more than likely. In another news, yesterday Lucasfilm and Disney dropped some huge Star Wars news, revealing that Jon Favreau will be directing a Mandalorian and Grogu movie titled, get this, The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's very clever, right? No one would have thought of that. Now, with last summer's dual writers and actor strikes, Hollywood studios have been rearranging their production schedules, and it looks like this might be the first Star Wars movie in theaters since 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. Now, fans seem mostly stoked that their favorite bounty hunter and Jedi youngling pair are jumping to the big screen. Yay, it's so good and happy. But, there is some confusion if this movie is in addition to another season of The Mandalorian, or if this is the next season. And that's not the only big Star Wars news that dropped. The announcement also revealed that Dave Filoni is hard at work on Ahsoka season 2, though no release date just yet has been revealed. Jonathan Majors gave his first interview since being found guilty of third-degree assault and harassment back in December, with sentencing happening February 6th. Now, speaking with Good Morning America in the exclusive interview, he had this to say when asked if he believes he'll work in Hollywood in the future.
Yeah, I do. I pray I do. But it's God's plan and God's timing.
Now, he went on to say that he hopes others in Hollywood believe the same, that he deserves another chance in his acting career. Now, as for the charges, they carry with them a sentence of up to 1 year in jail. Now, he was, however, found not guilty of both intentional assault in the third degree and aggravated harassment in the second degree. Now, as you might remember, the charges stem from March 25th, when Majors made a 911 call informing authorities he found his ex-partner Grace Jabari unconscious in their apartment. Now, he was subsequently arrested after police found Jabari had bruises and other injuries on her body. Now, back in December, Jabari took to the stand alleging Majors caused said injuries after he tried to retrieve his phone from her after she saw a message on his phone. Now, Riot has given us Arcane fans something special with the first look of Arcane Season 2. And in it, we see Singed, who's receiving what appears to be a blood transfusion. Now, Singed is the crazed alchemist who will go to any means to attain knowledge, even if it means sacrificing his very own humanity. Now, he's got a pocket watch in his hand, and then the camera pans up to reveal some sort of giant beast hemmed up. Now, what on earth could all this mean? Well, it could confirm a fan theory that's been been circulating for a while now that Vander could in fact be Warwick. Now, Warwick is a monster from the League of Legends series that was transformed into a beast due to various experiments and who appears to be drawn to blood. Now, there's a lot of similarities to Vander and Warwick's storyline, with League drawing connections between the two. Now, it could be an interesting way to bring back Vander, and within the overall Arcane storyline, it'd be quite fitting narratively. But that's just online speculation. We'll actually have to wait till later on this year to see what Arcane has in store for us. Now, now's the time to rewatch the series to get back familiar with it before the second season arrives on Netflix.
I'm Nick Maé, and that was your Weekly Fix. We'll be back next week with more of the biggest in gaming and entertainment news. Take care.